we're going to talk about a settled lawsuit in New Jersey. I cannot believe this person won. A settled lawsuit in New Jersey. It's public information. Just came out. It's against one of the sports books that this guy was gambling too much. His wife said the money was stolen for her. They got divorced, and she got a big portion of the money back. This is a story from casino.org, which is in their news section. DraftKings settles after New Jersey mom says dad lost $1 million of the family savings. And they settled this with this person. This shocks me because in her lawsuit filed last December, New Jersey State Court, Lisa D'Alessandro claims her ex-husband stole from her and the two children to support his habits. They had college accounts and stuff, and that this was DraftKings nurtured the addiction, encouraging to spiral out of control. And this is not to pick on DraftKings. This could be any sports book.
This is fascinating.
This is just what it is here. So the husband secretly drained credit cards, children's savings accounts, which have been funded by gifts received, Christmas, birthdays, baptisms, according to the lawsuit. So in the undisclosed settlement, I am just absolutely shocked that they won anything, because New Jersey courts previously have ruled that betting operators don't have a duty or any responsibility towards problem gamblers. And of course that would be the rule, because if not, everyone would be suing they lost, you know. This actually shocks me. And the reason why this court ruled for this is because of VIP staff failure. So the judge contended that DraftKings VIP host should have recognized that this was a problem gambler with the family, given the frequent interactions with him and the casino host back and forth. According to the lawsuit, DraftKings staff are trained to identify indicators of problem gambling. They failed to exercise it with appropriate diligence in this case. So furthermore, the wife argued that under anti-money laundering regulations, DraftKings personnel are obligated to verify source of funds for high-limit players. That's happening really big now, where the Know Your Customer law, KYC. So I find this, again, and I don't mean to pick on this. It's just a DraftKings thing. So
right. Is
this the start of something to come from in the future?
This is really interesting. And for me, it's interesting because we were owned. VSiN was owned for a stretch of time by DraftKings. You recall DraftKings bought VSiN, and we are no longer owned by VSiN. But in that time period, as any employee, not just those of us on air, but any of folks behind the glass, every employee at VSiN, because DraftKings was a public company, we had to do endless, interminable compliance stuff behind the scenes.
Oh, I remember this.
And it happened like once you were done with one deadline, there was a whole new series of stuff that we had to do. And it was all because you had to adhere, as a public company, you had to adhere to these compliance rules and these regulations. And much of that had to do with, it had to do with the quote unquote protection, knowing how to operate and the protection of the bettors, right? And DraftKings always, with all these public companies, you have to be all about responsible betting and responsible bookmaking as a result of that, so there was I guess what I'm saying is there's a series of guidelines where you are to you have to adhere at least by these compliance tests for all employees, that you are aware of how to behave as an employee, and then how we as a company treat the gamblers. And it's always, all in the wording, it's always about all this responsibility. It's a two-way thing. But what this lawsuit is basically saying is, with all of that supposed, and as you said, with all that supposed, this is they're all about responsible betting from in wording and in the sort of culture that's supposed to be. What in fact happens is that it is predatory, that the casino hosts are so relentless, right, in terms of, hey, are you betting more? Are you betting more? Are you doing more of this? Are you going to bet this? That they actually, this woman, and they had all the texts from the host.
Yes.
Innumerable, right, a myriad of texts from the host, constantly sort of badgering about it. Yeah. That at some point the courts are like, well, actually, when we thought you didn't have any responsibility, you kind of do now that I see these texts.
And the emails, like, because auto-generated emails every week you get from these companies, not just DraftKings, everyone. You just get them constantly, all these different deals and offers and bonuses. So it's just a barrage of marketing.
That's pretty interesting.
And, for people that don't know, I know many casino hosts that left their casino host jobs to work for companies like DraftKings, FanDuel, and all of the big companies. Actually, they left because they're getting their database of customers over to the DraftKings and FanDuel and everything like that.
As you know, that's a whole thing too, right? When those guys go from company to company,
yes, they have the
whole
list.
thing about taking their list.
And of course, they all have them.
Is a massive point of contention, right?
They all have the list. So DraftKings on record. On an analyst call, the CEO saying they're shooting for a 15% hold. They had 12% hold last year. 15%.
Oh, man.
That's literally, I bet you here behind us is lower than average. So I'm going to say it's 3 to 4% hold. The DraftKings and the FanDuels of the world are shooting for 5 times more, and they'll get it. And they'll get it because it's the result of the people that are just firing aimlessly on parlays and different things, and
I got to stop us here because I got to say we're. By the way, it sounded like I had some breaking news. I don't have breaking news. I have to. Whenever we start talking like this, though, I always go back to how close to the sun we are. Right?
Yes,
we are super close to the sun, and while this is just mind-boggling to us, right? DraftKings 15% hold. Oh my God! And you said at the end they're going to get it, right?
Yes. We'll get close to it.
I hate to say it, but their business model is, first of all, them and FanDuel are so massive at this point, right? That they have, and now they have this business model. And if you contrast it with the books that we respect, right?
Yes.
We take sharp action.
Yep.
I am not so sure, if I may be so bold and honest.
Okay.
I am not so sure that those business models ultimately work. I really am not. For all of their great intentions.
Right.
Adam Bjorn, who runs Prime Sports, very honestly, when he was interviewed recently by, oh my God, it's escaping me now who was that interviewed him, but I apologize, I'll come up with it. But the Adam Bjorn was very honest. He was asked, and the very first thing out of his mouth, and Prime Sports tries the same sort of business model as Circa, which is to cater to sharp bettors.
Yes.
And the first thing out of his mouth was, well, do we wish that we were a exchange or a sweepstakes? We do. But this is the lot we've chosen, and we hope it works out.
That's perfect wording. That's exactly what you do.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Even he is, by the way, very honest of him, right?
Yeah.
Even he very honestly is like, would we have chosen a different path, perhaps?
Listen, they're under the Chris brand of sportsbooks. Chris opened up in Arizona, CRIS, which it's amazing that they opened up in Arizona. I mean, CRIS stands for Costa Rican International Sportsbook, one of the first sportsbooks ever offshore, now in the country. Prime is under their flag, and yes, they do take on. I'm willing to say this. I think they would deal to the sharpest and the biggest bettors if they want to play there. How about that? I would think they're dealing to the biggest bettors in the world, or they would take them on, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Based on their model, based on their history. So what I'm talking about, I don't know this person, but I do. He follows me, and I just followed him back. Kevin O'Neill. So he put up these one about casual horse players.
Isn't that who Fezzik is doing the seminar with?
Oh, he is?
I think.
Maybe
I'm making that up.
No, he might be.
Yeah,
he might be. So he put up this thing about the horse players that got 345,000 views about the horses. As you could see, it's unbelievable. Looking at this is unbelievable. So these, I can't zoom in, huh? But some of the horses were in the starting gate. They were like 20 to 1. Here it is, 18 to 1. And the next flip of the odds, when they're halfway around the race, it's 6 to 1. And the horse wins easy. Like these sophisticated groups, CAWs, they're betting, and they are literally betting right at the window. They could do what they want. Now they're supposedly stopping in California. But he did another one just in the last 24 hours. Again, this is Kevin O'Neill at extra half point. And I like the one he did. This was in reference to Circa and DraftKings. This was the holds of Circa and DraftKings. Let me take a photo of it so I can actually quote these. That's where I got this from though this morning. So I want to give him the credit for it. Again, don't know him, but I hope I guess I'll meet him maybe. But here's the hold of 4.5%, Circa 4 to 5%, DraftKings 15, and it just shows you this though. This was interesting. The NFL Conference Championship odds. 12 teams have better odds that are 12 to 1 or less at DraftKings. I was like, wait a minute. How can that be? How can you have better odds at DraftKings than Circa? Now, there's 18 teams that are 13 to 1 or more, and that's where Circa has, 15 of those are here better odds. So the lower odds, DraftKings has the better odds. I just found this fascinating, the whole subject about how he went over each thing. It's a simple thing to do yourself. I'm not saying that, but I just thought it was interesting subject matter how they're going to hold 15%. Right now they're holding 12, but I don't know if any markets ever forecasted a 12% hold, and I'm sure that's what the FanDuels and the rest of the sports books are. It's in the palm of your hand. It's, people are just firing. And don't forget now, you have online casinos in New Jersey. You have online casinos in certain states. This is literally a silent killer. It's a gambling, it goes, this goes unidentified too. This is not like drinking, you're alcoholic at the bar. It's not like
it's
drugs.
Not something that people talk about.
I want to close with it. I've been saving this for you. There's something giant going on back east. It's terrible though. I hate to sound so negative again. There's one sports book back east. Big sports book. It's not DraftKings, by the way. We've already destroyed them.
We didn't. It just happened to be DraftKings.
It's public information. I wasn't spoiling nothing.
Yeah.
But there's a sports book back home who is saying that if you and your friends are sitting around drinking, having a good time, partying up, and you say, I like that first half over on that preseason game. I'm going to use that game and we all bet it in our account. It's a total free roll for them because they're not going to pay us because we all bet it 5 accounts at the same time under the same IP address. It's happening right now with a giant sports book back home, and I always
What do you mean we did it in the same IP address, though?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now they're tracking IP addresses and saying you're betting with these other 5 guys. You're all betting the first half total. Let's use something smaller market even. I don't care. Let's use an NFL prop. Or an NBA prop, or a WNBA preseason prop, even smaller. And we're all betting Caitlin Clark over her assists or points. At the same time, they're not paying. And if they don't pay, at the risk of me even getting in trouble with anybody in the future, I am exposing them this season if they don't pay.
Absolutely.
They're not paying this group of people, these group of guys. They're not paying them. They're all playing under their own name, but they all agreed on the bet. Or it could be a Telegram chat. It could be a Telegram channel. Whatever. Oh, guys, we like this. 3, 2, 1. Let's all bet.
Yeah.
And this sports book has the lines. I think this is absolutely horrible. They're not paying. And guess what?
I'm with you.
A couple of them, they're not even responding to the emails. They just not paying. They didn't. And this is legal licensed sports books.
You don't want to say the name of it?
No, okay. I will though. Don't worry. Because now they're having a chance to pay.
Yeah.
So let them have their chance to pay. I will definitely go after them.
Real quick before we go, you heard about this Emmanuel Clase thing of the Guardians and Luis Ortiz, the 2 Guardians pitchers.
Sure.
The first pitch. Those that are offering these micro bets.
Sure.
And there's 9. There's a video of Clase throwing 9 first pitches into the dirt, basically.
Right.
Books will get rid of those, won't they?
I mean, they probably should.
They should.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're not making tons off that one. It's not like a game.
That's the part.
That's the part. It's not a game long prop. So they should probably get rid of those, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're just begging for this.
They really are. They really are. And it's multiple things you hear more and more about gambling stories. We heard about Arenas with the card game, raking. I mean, they're looking to just start trouble for people and, a lot of people. So, but especially these guys that are making not a lot of money, the entry level pitchers or whatever, maybe if they're involved, they're idiots. How stupid they are to ruin their careers over a pitch. How much money can you get down?
That thing you're talking about will be interesting to track. Because what is their reasoning? Oh, none of you are making your original bets. It's all like this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Right.
Good luck, folks. Yeah,
crazy.